Right, okay then, well we're on potential trade number 3. This is our actual AB swing there. We have another AB swing right here. We've got the downtrend line, as you can see. I've got the downtrend line drawn in right here, and we're now beginning to break this trend line. So I'm now looking for a full-bodied candle above the trend line, and potentially as well coming back to test the actual trend line. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit for you because I want you to just take a look at something. You can see here that, let me zoom in a little bit more actually if I can. You can see right here that we've got a high point right here, very roughly 2 to the left, taking this as the high point, very roughly 2 to the left, 2 to the right. So if we take this out, then we should expect some sort of retrace, because what we have potentially is we have a bull crown potential setup, back of the trend line, and then off we go in that direction. That's a potential trade. So what I'm going to wait for is I'm going to wait for us to take out this high point right here, or this area right here, and then retrace towards the back of the trend line before I take a long. So that's what I'm looking for. So we've now got another possible live trade on our hands. Let's just hold off. Remember, we're still above the trend line, therefore we're still long. Trend is your friend until it bends. Let's take a quick look at the 1 hour. You can see there that we're now fighting this particular small uptrend line, which is the trend line that we've got on the 5 minute. This is your 5 minute trend line that we're following. Potentially then we're still looking to go towards this trend line here, either break it or bounce. And again, this is the 5 minute trend line we'll watch for. If it breaks here on the 5 minute, just going back to the 5 minute, if it breaks this trend line, which is the one we've just been looking at, and then we get a crown situation short, we'll look to take that as well. But this is a live situation. I'm just going to put you on hold until we get a little bit more information. Okay, while this is developing, I'm just going to put the fibs on here for us to have a look at. There we go. It's nearly a 786 bounce, so potentially we're looking at the 127, this area here for sort of take profit. So let's put this line in there, change this to the green. I like this as my take profit line. So we're looking at that as potential take profit. So if we get a retrace back to this area, then we're going to take a risk of about 20 pips, looking for about 44 pips, 2 to 1. Okay, so put you back on pause. Okay, well I'm just having a look at the 1 hour, and I just want to point something out to you here. This trend line here, this is the trend line I'm talking about, was drawn in when we had these sort of points of contact, 1, 2, 3. At this point we've not got this contact right here, but just look at this. I've drawn in this particular trend line right here. Sorry, not this trend line, this support resistance area right here. Previous support. And just look at how that's actually become there, right there. Look, on the trend line, how it's become support becomes resistance, sorry, becomes support, and now it's potentially bouncing off. So that will give us a little bit extra more weight to a long trade on this. But you've also got to remember, as I keep pointing out, we could have hit, this could be the bounce area. We could actually be bouncing here and taking a short trade rather than take the long. So there are risks in taking this trade, but as I've said, while you know the trend is your friend until it bends. So here we've now got the close above the trend line, full body close above the trend line. We could effectively take this trend if we wanted to now, or you could, but potentially what I will be looking for is I will be looking for a sort of a retrace area back towards this area right here, because this area is again past support area. So this is the area that I will be looking for. If it comes back down towards this area, then we would be looking to take a trade with a risk of around about the 16, 18 pips. Potential take profit area from this area will be around about 48 pips. So very, very good risk reward, but it all depends, is it going to come back to this area or not? Okay, then back to this trade then. Well, we've got the retrace back, But remember now, what you're waiting for this to close. So if anybody that's jumped into this trade, you do not jump into the trade. Let the candle close on this retrace. Now look at the situation we're in. We're now below the trend line now. So look at this. I've not entered this trade, so I'm not entering this trade. Had we got a full retrace to this area, and then not open, close below, and not open below this, with a potential full body close below this trend line, I would have potentially looked to take the trade. But it's now closed, so it doesn't look like we're going to get the long trade. What we're possibly going to do is get the short trade. So now what we need to do is we now need to just wait and see what happens, because now if we take this particular line right here, if we take out this low now, then we're looking at this area right here as our potential. We could be looking at this area or this area or this area as a potential left tip. So we will be looking at a right tip situation. So we would be looking for a test of the back of this before we fell, and that would of course match with these sort of areas right here, which were past support resistance, now continued resistance, and this is the area then we're looking for. So now I'm just going to hold back. Again, this is everything to do with trading. Keep it simple. No jumping in there. Be sure of what we're doing. Just look to see what the market's telling us. So now we need to wait to see what happens next. Okay, so let's just wait. Well, we've taken out the A low, but what we have to remember here, folks, is we are just 35 minutes away from a fundamental announcement. There's one at 1:30. So really, this is going to keep me out of the trade anyway. So that's going to keep me out of the trade, because I'm not going to trade within 30 minutes of that trade. But although this is just a very, very quick little video, you can see why I would have entered this, but why I was kept out of it as well. Okay.